I feel most at ease when I'm in sort of, when I'm among other drug addicts and alcoholics. I feel a tremendous sense of ease and acceptance. It's I suppose it's unavoidable that like my line of work is the showing off and fame industry, and that is afforded a particular amount of attention and status in the world we live in today, and perhaps we could say broadly to negative effects. So when there's sort of an opportunity such as this one to have some kind of fleeting positive impact through my notoriety, then I'm really glad of it. But what I find fascinating is that the only community that I've ever really felt actually part of, not outside of, is the community of drug addicts and alcoholics. When I was at school, I didn't feel like I fitted in anywhere. I'm an only child of a single mother, and I didn't feel like I fitted in my family. There's only one other fucking person. It's hard to develop an identity as an outsider under those conditions. Is there suddenly a thumping bass line to proceedings, or am I losing it? Where's that coming from? Some people have relapsed and set up an alternative conference of decadence. It won't work. I mean, they'll fuck it up. The admin will go wrong once people start using. Like in rooms like this, where there is a sort of a particular density of drug addicts, this is as good as you're going to get at seeing recovery in action, because the people in this room, you're among lunatics, you're moving among psychopaths now, you're among people who just create chaos at a personal psychological level, at a domestic level, at a familial level, at a criminal level. The people that have a complete capacity for chaos. Talking of myself, hearing those lovely things said about me by Noreen and by Mike and that, and thank you, mate. I'm really proud to work with rap. Because as I said when I was chatting earlier, I was given that 6 months before you're dead in prison or in a lunatic asylum. For me, I consider it to be just what we say amongst us, like one of the yets. For me, there's an air of inevitability around prison. So when I meet people that are doing time or have been away, I think, thanks for doing it for me, so that I didn't have to, because I would have got there. Because of this disease, I've been relieved of that kind of pious, moral, high-mindedness or judgment, because I know how easy it is to get into those situations. And frankly, the people that I've met that are following abstinence-based recovery principles in prison are among the sort of, I'm a bit easily duped, to be honest, but they seem so fucking lovely. You sort of think, oh, they're all right. Really nice, decent people. And you get that in recovery everywhere. People part of this is what's amazing about it, right? Is we have to help other people in order to stay well. That's an intrinsic principle of it. So everyone's got to be nice for their own selfish reasons. It's a really good way of stimulating the natural egotism and self-centeredness of our age, which is elsewhere constantly inculcated through the propaganda of marketing, through the capitalist system we live in. Here, there's a currency in kindness. People know that we only stay well by helping other people stay well. We can only keep clean ourselves by helping other people keep clean. Now, it's kind of obvious that those principles could be held and could benefit elsewhere in society, and perhaps that's an argument for another day. So, but for here, and for now, all we're talking about doing, and you've heard the word again and again, articulately presented, brilliantly presented, I thought, by Stuart earlier in that, this is about building communities, and the more people have access to this message, the more the positivity can be conveyed, the more you're creating that. And what I'm constantly dazzled by, when I hear some of these fucking lunatics talking, I think, thank God I didn't have to deal with that person while they were drinking and using. That's a maniac. And now all they want to do is give you a cuddle and make you a cup of tea and be nice to you and be sweet to you. You're taking people out of the game. It's a kind of spiritual alchemy. Because I know that the reason look, I don't know about you. A lot of drugs can be a right laugh for a while. But for me, my personal experience of taking drugs was not, I weren't a recreational drug user, not from the get-go. For me, it was medicinal from the first ever time I took drugs. I was unhappy, I was miserable, I felt lost, I felt alone. And if anyone could offer me anything that would deal with that feeling, I'll have it. But when I was a little kid, chocolate biscuits. When I was an adolescent, pornography. When someone come along with drugs, I'll take it, I'll do it. The only thing, in fact, that I was circumspect, doubtful and questioning about was abstinence-based recovery. The one thing that's actually fucking worked. When the dawn finally came, suddenly I was interrogatory, suddenly I was inquisitive, suddenly I had inquiries and questions. It's the one thing that's works for me, 100%. And the more I commit to it, the more I get back from it. The more I'm willing to help other people, the better I feel. What I reckon, for us people that are drug addicts, alcoholics, whatever, I often consider it, and I know like Chip's a double committed atheist. It's like he's deliberately trying to annoy God, but like on purpose. But I believe in God, and I believe that for like that we drug addicts, alcoholics, it's like we've got a spiritual craving, a yearning, and we don't have the language, we don't have the code to express that in our society. But the feeling won't go away, so you've got to nullify it, anaesthetize it somehow. I can't live with it. I can't be alive. I can't be alive unless I'm living in kind of love and community with other people. I can't cope with it. My only other option is to take drugs. That's my only other option, because the feelings behind my drug use and my alcoholism, they ain't gone nowhere. I, one day at a time, address those through the principles of the program of mutual, what is it? We say mutual support systems, mutual support aid, or what the fuck it is. We've got to be careful. And through talking to other addicts and other alcoholics. Now, it's like they say a lot, don't they? Like anyone can get clean, and that is actually really hard. Because the first time someone mentioned to me, don't try to get to bed tonight without drinking or using, I was like, what? What do you mean it's 7 o'clock? There's too much day left for that amount of consciousness and awakeness. And like me now, I don't take drugs. I've not had drugs or alcohol for fucking 8. I mean, I've had some significant amount of coffee, as you can see. Dangerous levels of caffeine, some of which I did take intravenously. The rest through an enema. No, conventional coffee use. It's amazing to me. My whole identity, my life revolved entirely around getting drugs. I got clean because of Focus 12, the place I got clean, which is built around it's a 12-step. It has 12-step principles at its heart and at its core. And now I stay clean through mutual support, through the fellowship of other addicts, essentially through recovery communities. Now we've got support, we've got longevity, we've got a future. Brilliant research has been done, we've got a proper understanding of our problem. Now all that's needed really is the kind of, psychic or spiritual shift that we addicts go through as individuals, a belief that change can be made, that we can share that change with other people. We've just got to spread that belief more broadly. I'm not surprised people are cynical about abstinence-based recovery. It sounds too good to be true. But I've been chatting to people on the news and that, and they don't seem to realise how hard it is for us. Abstinence-based recovery ain't easy. It's not a soft option. It's bloody difficult. It's still now 11 years down the road. It occurs to me constantly, if I could just have a little use to take the edge off. If I could just spend a couple of days on holiday from my head, wrapped in a snug brown blanket of smack, I'd take it. When I hang around using addicts, I don't think, how lucky I am to have this wonderful hair conditioner and this fancy jacket. I think I'd give my life up for a blast of brown and white, for a minute on the pipe. Because it don't go away, that feeling, without diligence and work. And that's why I know we can't be judgmental, we can't be pejorative, we shouldn't be punitive. Today is a day about abstinence-based recovery and building abstinence-based recovery communities, and I shouldn't have opinions on outside issues. But my personal opinion on having drugs illegal at this point in history is medieval mentality practiced by medieval politicians to punish an entire class of people and to victimise and vilify them. I'm not saying this disease don't affect people all over. Of course it does. We're all subject to it. But you know who suffers from it most. It's been explained over the course of the day. And that's why that policy's in place. It's ridiculous. It's medieval, and it needs to change for us to advance as a planet, to evolve. That's, I think, for me, an important partner of abstinence-based recovery, accepting that the option ain't, are people going to take drugs or not? Of course people are going to fucking take drugs. They take drugs. We're witnessing it. And drug addicts, by the way, don't give a shit if drugs are illegal. It ain't slowing the process down. No one's ever going, oh no! Also, that would provide a handy way to provide revenue for people that want to get clean. Regulated drugs. Regulated drugs the way that alcohol and tobacco is regulated. I know it makes them look edgy. But that's what I believe. So the personal transformation that I've undergone from being a hopeless, hapless, ridiculous drug addict with no future, no chance, no hope, to being an equal, valid member of this community is perhaps something that we can spread. And from some of the information we've got from some of our excellent speakers today, it seems like that's a possibility. That's why the aims of Give It Up, the aims of the Recovery Group UK, although they may seem bold, they're highly plausible. By piloting these schemes, we now have the opportunity to see how well these ideas can work away from the hub of the mutual support group.